guys, welcome to Amazing Engineering, and today in this Inventor tutorial we will design a ball bearing, a cylindrical roller bearing and a tapered roller bearing. Let's start from the ball bearing, so let's create a sketch on the XY plane. Let's create a first circle whose diameter is 70 mm length, then another one whose diameter is 55 mm length. Close the sketch, click extrusion, select this surface. The extrusion length is 10 mm and we have to select symmetry plane. So this is the internal ring. Now we have to do the same operation for the external ring. So let's create a sketch on the XY plane again. Let's create the first circle whose diameter is 90 mm length, then another one whose diameter is 80 mm length. Close the sketch, click on extrusion again, select this surface. The extrusion length is 10 mm and again we have to set midplane. Now, in order to create the spheres, let's create a sketch on the XY plane. Let's create a reference line. Let's create a circle whose center is the middle point of the line and its diameter is equal to the distance between the two rings. Let's cut a part of the circle, delete these contours. Now click on revolution, select this contour and as axis of revolution the reference line. Click on OK. This is the first sphere. Now in order to create the other ones, click on circular pattern, select the first sphere, then this contour. The angular distance is equal to 360 degrees and the number of copies is 22. Now we have only to create the support ring, so let's create another sketch on the XY plane. Let's create a first circle whose diameter is 76 mm length, then another one whose diameter is 72 mm length, or better 74. Click on extrusion again, select this surface. The extrusion length is 10 mm again, and again we have to select midplane. So this is the ball bearing. Now we have to do a similar operation in order to create the cylindrical roller bearing. So let's delete the spheres. Let's create a sketch on the XY plane. Let's create again a reference line. Then the circle. But now we have to cut the reference line. Close the sketch. Click on extrusion. Select the circle. Set midplane and extrusion length, for example 9 mm. Click on circular pattern again, select the cylinder, then this contour, set 22 copies, and this is the cylindrical roller bearing. Now, in order to create the tapered roller bearing, we could open another project. Let's create a sketch on the XY plane. Let's create the internal ring as we did before. Let's create another circle for the external ring. Whose diameter is, for example, 82 millimeters length. Now let's create a sketch on the YZ plane. And now we have to create a new surface which will represent the section of the external ring. So select line, and create this surface. Close the sketch, click on sweep, select this contour and this circle, click on OK, and this is the external ring. Now, in order to create the cylinder, we have to do the same operation as we did before. So let's create a sketch, this time on this surface. Delete this contour. Let's create a reference line, the circle. Let's cut the reference line and delete these contours. Let's do the same on the back, on the body. Close the sketch, click on Loft, select these two sketches, and this is the first cylinder. Now, in order to create the other cylinders, click on Circular Pattern again, select the first cylinder, then this contour, set 22 number of copies, and at the end we have to create the support ring. So let's create a sketch on the XY plane. Let's create a first circle whose diameter is 76 millimeters length, then another one whose diameter is 73 millimeters length. Close the sketch, click on extrusion, set mid-plane, the extrusion length is, for example, 9 millimeters, and this is the tapered roller bearing. Well, this is all for today. I invite you to subscribe on my channel and see you for the next video.